Hey moms, do you feel stressed out? If so, you are not alone. Two new studies by IU researchers show the pandemic is really taking a big toll on your overall well-being. Joining me live from Bloomington is Jessica Calarco, an associate professor of sociology at IU who led both of these studies. Let's start with, first of all, good morning. And what did you find in your studies kind of overall?
Sure. Good morning. The challenges we find with pandemic parenting are taking a serious toll on mothers' mental health and relationships. It's not everyone, but we find in our research with Southern Indiana mothers that 77% are reporting increased stress during the pandemic, 69% are reporting increased anxiety, and about 40% are also reporting increased frustrations with their children and with their partners as well.
A lot of it, I think, too, we were talking in the break, a lot of anxiety from moms who are working from home and the children are still in the home. What did you find about that specifically?
Sure. In interviews with moms who are working from home without childcare, they described feeling as though they are failing as both workers and as mothers. And especially if those moms were also responsible for helping their children learn from home, they reported feeling like failures as teachers as well. And certainly dads stepped up in many of those families in that had two partners, but oftentimes that extra support that their partners were providing just wasn't enough to compensate for the extra stress that mothers were experiencing while trying to manage working from home while also providing full-time childcare for their children.
Yeah, we were talking to Jim about this research yesterday. I know that Jim is really involved with his children and, whether it be helping Missy and taking kids to doctors and picking up from school and things like that, which definitely help when you feel like you're part of a team. What did you hear that other parents are doing, or moms in particular? How are they coping if maybe they don't have a Jim O'Brien in their household?
Sure. I mean, certainly the moms who had access to childcare, oftentimes through an extended family member, were doing better. Those who didn't have access to that kind of support, many of them told us about turning to food or alcohol or to antidepressants in order to cope with some of the added stress. Some are also dropping out of the workforce. They told us that the income from their jobs just isn't worth it, given the stress of pandemic parenting demands. Though, of course, we also have to think about the moms who can't afford to drop out of the workforce, especially mothers without partners and those whose partners lost their jobs during the pandemic. And certainly now, with the cutoff of supplemental federal unemployment benefits, we have to worry about how those mothers might be now facing even greater anxieties and stress.
You're someone that's, studies sociology and maybe not the psychiatrist here, but I would like to leave people with some hope. You found this in this study, and we're hearing how they're coping in all these negative ways. Did you hear anything positive from someone that says, okay, here's where I was in that moment, and instead of turning to the food and the alcohol and maybe something else, here's what I did to be able to cope? Or what's the takeaway in a positive way?
I mean, I think one of the things that we heard from moms was how much, especially early on in the pandemic, the added benefits that they were receiving, the supplemental unemployment benefits and the supplemental payments that were received through the CARES Act made a difference, especially for low-income families, and helping them to cope and in helping them to sometimes hire childcare to help relieve some of that stress. So I think it points to the need for added resources and added support for families, both during the pandemic and then beyond as well. Really, policies to help make sure that families have access to the care and the relief that they need.
Jessica,
Thank you. Just step outside for a walk was critical.
Yeah, thank you so much. We sure do appreciate your time. And if you would like to learn more about these researchers and what they learned, we'll have the studies and the information at fox59.com/links.